My sister lied that I ruined her marriage and made our entire family skip my wedding. Now my parents want me to share my baby with her because she's infertile. Hey everyone. Before we kick off today's video, I've got a favor to ask. We've noticed our channel isn't getting as much love lately, and subscribing is one of the easiest ways you can help us out. It's quick, free, and it means we can keep bringing you awesome content. Your support really means a lot, so let's work together to keep this channel growing. Thanks a bunch. Now, let's dive into the video. Okay, so here's some backstory. My sister Pam, who's 30, basically convinced our parents and some relatives to skip my wedding. Why? Because she was getting divorced at the same time, and apparently, my happiness didn't sit well with her. Since just the truth wasn't enough to turn everyone against me, she started cooking up lies and spreading rumors to keep people away from my big day. Now, I'm 27 and in my second trimester of pregnancy. My husband and I recently shared the good news on social media, which is how my parents and Pam found out. After almost 3 years without contact, they suddenly want to patch things up. Their reason? Pam can't have kids. She's undergone multiple IVF treatments, but no luck so far. She doesn't want to consider adoption or surrogacy just yet. So, they figured now that I'm having a baby, it's the perfect time to make up. They thought it would be good for Pam to spend time with a baby that's family by blood. Plus, they said it'd be nice for me too because apparently, my baby could have 2 moms, and having Pam around would mean extra help. But honestly, my parents just want to play happy family since Pam can't have her own. I saw through their fake friendliness during the call. I told them I wasn't on board with their crazy idea. Expecting me to let Pam play mom with my child just because she's infertile? Yeah, no thanks. I pointed out that if they genuinely wanted to make things right, they should have done it because we're family, not because I'm having a baby and Pam wants a plaything. They were offended and said they just wanted to help since I'd need extra hands when the baby arrives. Pam was totally up for it and said it was all innocent, so I had no reason to be harsh. But I made it clear, I'm the mom here, and I've got all the support I need from my husband and in-laws. If they found it easy to stay out of contact before, they might as well keep it that way. Here's the part where I might have gone a bit too far. I told them maybe Pam can't get pregnant because a person like her wouldn't make a good mom. After that call, I got a bunch of messages from my parents, some relatives, and Pam herself, all demanding I apologize because what I said was harsh. But it's hard for me to feel sorry after what she pulled before my wedding. For context, Pam had been married for 2 years when I got married. She and her ex were together for 3 years before marriage, and she knew he wanted to stay child-free. She'd even told our parents early on, but they'd just ignore me like usual. Pam and I have never really gotten along since childhood. She was always the favorite, and we used to fight a lot when we were kids. Eventually, we just started ignoring each other. She knew she wanted kids, even though her ex didn't. They hoped he'd change his mind after marriage, but he didn't. So when she started pushing for kids, they fought a lot. During family dinners, she'd be upset, constantly venting about how tough it was. So, this whole thing started with Pam, my sister, who decided to marry a guy who was never really on the same wavelength as her. From the get-go, he told her where he stood, but Pam was convinced she could change his mind. Fast forward, she couldn't change him, and I thought it was kind of on her for thinking she could. I kept my mouth shut, though, because there was already enough drama. A few months down the line, my parents told me Pam had moved back in with them. Apparently, she and her husband had a massive fight, and she decided she wasn't going back. Around the same time, my fiancé and I had just started putting down deposits for our wedding. We'd been together for almost 4 years and were just waiting for a good spot in our careers before tying the knot. We were ready for marriage, and I was super excited. Then, out of nowhere, my parents hit me with the news that Pam and her husband were heading for a divorce. They asked me to put my wedding on hold indefinitely because they didn't want to upset Pam, who was also putting her baby plans on the back burner. She was heartbroken from the whole thing. I found that pretty absurd and selfish, so I told them I was still going ahead with my wedding, with or without Pam's blessing. We were never close, so her feelings about my wedding weren't really my concern. But my parents weren't happy and said if I didn't postpone the wedding, they wouldn't come either. That stung. I knew they had a soft spot for Pam, but I didn't think they'd take it that far for her. I had to come to terms with it. I made peace with the idea that they might not be there. But Pam wasn't done. She decided to recruit the family to skip my wedding too. She went around saying it was insensitive of me to marry while she was going through such a tough time, trying to get everyone on her side. But most people just felt bad for her, they didn't actually say they'd boycott my wedding. Not one to back down, Pam kicked it up a notch. She started spreading rumors that I was somehow involved in her breakup, claiming I was jealous and wanted to ruin her life because she was about to become a mom before me. It was ridiculous. I barely knew her husband, and Pam would have never married him if we were close. But for some reason, people started to believe the lies. Pam even told folks I had been persuading her husband to leave her, and I was the reason he wasn't into becoming a father because I supposedly sold him on the idea of a child-free life. When I sent out wedding invitations, a lot of people declined, and it wasn't a mystery why. A few family members who were on my side told me about the things Pam had been saying. So, when the big day came, the turnout for my family was pretty sparse. Just a few cousins and folks were there for me. Everyone else was a friend or coworker, and looking at the bride's side was kind of depressing. I was really down about it in the weeks leading up to the wedding. Oh man, where do I even start with this? So, I tried chatting with folks to set the record straight, but it turns out their minds were already made up. A few even went as far as blocking me. In the end, it felt like it was just my word against Pam's, so I didn't push it. But come wedding day, I had my husband, friends, and in-laws to lift my spirits. They made sure I had such a blast that it almost didn't matter that loads of my family were no-shows. Still, just because I had a good time doesn't mean I'm over what Pam did. Seriously, it was so messed up and totally in character for her to try and ruin my happiness because she couldn't get her way. Ever since we were kids, she was like this, and while most people grow out of that stuff by their late 20s, apparently she didn't. Because of all this drama, I cut ties with her and my parents after what went down. Fast forward to about a year later, my husband and I stumbled upon Pam's ex-husband while grabbing lunch. It was awkward city, but he actually came over to say congrats on the wedding and apologized for not being there because of the situation with Pam. We were chatting, and my husband joked that he might as well have come since Pam didn't even show up. That's when the ex looked puzzled, and we all started piecing together what had happened. Turns out, Pam had been stalling their mediation sessions under the guise of being busy with my wedding prep. Her ex was shocked she wasn't at the wedding at all. We filled him in on the rumors she spread about me and how she blamed me for their split. He was pretty taken aback by all this, and then we uncovered the real reason behind their divorce. It went beyond the kids issue they always argued about. Her ex had started considering having a baby with her, but then she told him she'd stop taking birth control without telling him. That was her plan, to get pregnant and just have him deal with the outcome. Talk about twisted, right? That revelation was the final nail in the coffin for their marriage, not the whole kids debate she told everyone about. So, after that chat, my husband and I understood why she was acting out during my wedding. She knew the divorce was her fault because of her own actions, but still, she tried to make it seem like it was all a big misunderstanding. Crazy, right? So here's the deal, my sister, let's call her Pam, totally messed things up for herself with some pills and whatnot. Honestly, if she had just kept quiet, none of this drama would have happened. She could have been having a baby with her husband, but she kind of ruined that and then blamed it all on me. After learning all of this, I started resenting her even more. I could have gone to my parents and relatives to spill the beans, but I didn't. I had already stopped talking to anyone who skipped my wedding. At that point, all I wanted was to move on with my life, so I kept quiet. But no lie, my dislike for her runs deep. I don't even feel bad about what I said because I genuinely believe it's probably for the best that she hasn't become a mother yet. I doubt she could handle it well with her, let's say, interesting tendencies. Now, out of nowhere, she and my parents want to reconnect just because I'm pregnant. They think they can just play happy family with my kid, but that's not happening. And about this whole idea of my baby having two moms, not necessary. Even my husband and in-laws agree. But I am second-guessing myself because of how people reacted to my comment about Pam not being able to get pregnant. People I usually get along with think I went too far. For those wondering, no, Pam hasn't remarried or is dating anyone, as far as I know. She apparently just wants to be a mom but isn't into adoption or surrogacy, which I find odd. She's been trying IVF since her divorce, even with donors, but no luck. I think most people would look at other options by now, but hey, whatever floats her boat. What's really strange is that she and my parents suddenly want to make things right with me after my pregnancy announcement. They even brought up how my baby is connected to her by blood, which is just weird and gave off some serious baby stealer vibes. I worry that if I let her near my kid, she'll start acting like she's the mom, and I can't let that happen. Some folks have asked why I haven't explained why she and her husband divorced or defended myself to the family. Honestly, I just don't see the point. After the wedding, I realized who really has my back. I didn't feel like airing all the dirty laundry, I just wanted some peace. Even the family members I'm cool with have said my comment about Pam not becoming a mom was a bit harsh. They're not demanding an apology, but given they usually support me, it's something I'm thinking about. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And thanks to everyone who commented on my post. Most of you think I'm not the bad guy here, and I appreciate that. I've decided not to apologize to Pam for now. So, here's the deal with my parents. I'm still giving them the silent treatment because they're not exactly thrilled with me right now. They've been acting like victims both on social media and in real life, bad-mouthing me to our relatives again. But honestly, I couldn't care less since I don't talk to those folks anyway. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? They cut me off even more? I'm not sweating it. Now, for those family members who usually have my back but weren't too happy with what I said, I made sure to talk to them. I explained that yeah, I might have said some things in the heat of the moment, it happens. But let's be real, what Pam pulled at my wedding to hog all the attention was way worse and totally planned. She's been nothing but cruel and disrespectful to me over the years, and I'm not about to apologize for stating the truth. Unlike her spreading rumors, my comments don't even come close to affecting her like she did me. I mean, her lies almost made my family skip my wedding. Thankfully, the relatives who were on my side still are, and they've agreed to drop the whole thing, which is fine by me. I just want to enjoy my pregnancy without all this drama. Plus, if Pam and my parents keep dragging this out, I might have to spill some tea that they won't like, something I'd rather avoid during my pregnancy. It's been 2 weeks since I last talked to my parents on the phone, and they've been on a campaign to turn the family against me. They're desperate for the family to give me the cold shoulder. But I managed to patch things up with the ones who actually mattered, so their plan flopped. That's probably why they started posting vague digs at me online, hinting I'm jealous of Pam and made fun of her infertility, which is total nonsense. Recently, they even accused me of messing up Pam's marriage, which hit a nerve since they've been spreading that lie since my wedding. So, I decided to clap back. I reached out to my ex-brother-in-law to clear the air. We're not super close, but we're on decent terms. I asked if it was cool to share the real story, and he gave me the green light. So, I did, and now the drama is through the roof. My inbox is flooded with messages from family, demanding I take it down or accusing me of lying, but I'm just ignoring it all. My parents and Pam have gone radio silent, so I guess they've got nothing to say right now. They'll probably speak up eventually, but surprisingly, no one's bothered to apologize to me yet. You know, it's pretty much what I expected from my family, so I'm not really bothered. My main aim was to show everyone Pam's true colors, and I feel like I nailed it. Now, I'm just chilling and watching how everything unfolds. So, it's been a couple of days since I last posted, and today, Pam and my parents finally reached out. They said they're ready to apologize, but only if I take the post down. Even though the rest of the family hasn't apologized to me directly, they did get on my parents' and Pam's cases. Apparently, they've been called out for throwing me under the bus and making it seem like it was my fault Pam's marriage ended. They've been lying to the entire family for years, which really messed up my relationships with them. Honestly, I'm surprised at how quickly my family shifted from blaming me to pointing fingers at Pam. But, hey, I never expected anything different from them. They were so quick to believe I was the one who wrecked Pam's marriage, and now they suddenly believe it was her all along. Still, no apologies from them, and most have stopped texting me. No one's asking if I was telling the truth, and they're not expecting me to take the post down either. Anyway, I told my parents and Pam that I'm not taking the post down until I feel like it. Their apologies mean absolutely nothing at this point. They emailed me, so I just replied with my decision and then blocked them. They've not tried to contact me since. This morning, though, I decided to take the post down because I don't want my social media cluttered with negativity about people who don't matter to me anymore. I want to enjoy my pregnancy without getting caught up in drama and revenge. Letting them be who they are is punishment enough. I'm happy with my husband, and I've got friends and family who genuinely care about me, which is all I really want. I couldn't care less about what my parents and Pam are up to now. After this whole saga, I hope they finally get that I want nothing to do with them going forward. I doubt they'll reach out after all this, so I guess this is where it ends. Thanks to everyone who's been following my updates and offering support and advice, it truly means a lot to me.